Hola Jaime, buenas noches.
Good evening, Jaime. Luis Castillo. You got to the final, but the great doubt is how Jaime Lozano has done. You've had 2.5, 3 weeks to have a cohesion and results. What is the formula? What is Jaime Lozano's formula? Hello, Luis. How are you? Is everybody? Good evening. I believe that when you're transparent and you work and you show by example and you lead by example, the players understand and value and recognize it. So I'm telling it for me and for my coaching staff because, like I said, I like to be surrounded by people who are better than me and who are more important than me. And at the end, they have shown us this not just now, but from the previous process too. And like I said before, all I have to do, all I have to be is be grateful for the confidence, for the trust, because the way in which they show up and they continue and they follow the game plan without much training, they really do what you ask them to do. It's incredible. And I believe that the team, and like I said at the beginning, the teamwork is a decision, not a virtue. And they decided that they wanted to bring the cup home, that they wanted to be the best team. And we have one very big step today, very important step toward that. But the prettiest one is where we want to be, and we're going to do without a doubt, knowing that we are a very good team, but we're facing a very good team, the one that processes and works the best. Not just because I am in Mexico, the one who's there, I want to see the process. Because after a couple of World Cups, we're going to be a stronger team for the player, for the idea of the game, for the plan of the game, and how we understand. Jaime, Rodolfo Maderos, Sports. I want to ask you, you have a great result. You don't concede the goal early based on the game plan that you had with the players. How satisfied are you with the execution of that plan? Look, even with 3-0, I'm going to see things that we could have done better. I think that the team today, especially in the second half and at the end of the first, they took advantage. They defended that advantage instead of attacking more. That you have 2-0. You have very smart people. We knew that they were going to do a lot of passes in the back, and we defended quite well most of the time. I'm happy because, like I said, yesterday, I said that what I'd like to do is not to let them score against me. And like it happened with Honduras and with Haiti, possibly with Costa Rica, the result seems overwhelming and we dominated all the time. But I think we knew how to resolve and how to be aggressive enough to let us manage the game. There are no easy rivals, even though 3-0. It's a very hard team. They've grown very much in the last few years, and it is their first defeat. And it was very big, but it speaks well of them that it was their first one. Hello, Jaime. How are you? Electo Martinez, today you consider that this is the best game that you've had as a coach for this team and this time. And the second question, did you talk to El Toro Guzman? He didn't have minutes. The only one on the field who hasn't played, who was a starter with Diego Cuca, and at the end, bench him in a certain way. How are you going to talk to him about that? It's one of the two things is not to be able to give everybody the opportunity. He's been working very well. He is a very professional, a wonderful human being. He was a starter in Cholos, and then he went to Monterrey, which has a lot. A young Mexican with a tournament as such. That is why he has the confidence of Coca and the minutes that he had. I think it's natural that when you arrive, you know some players. I know him quite well. I try to put people in with more experience and the people that I have more time with working, and that's simply that. He has to be prepared, he has to be ready because we don't know when his turn will come. And that is how football is. And I said it a couple of days ago. Somebody says you gave everybody a lot of time. We have a lot of goalkeepers that haven't had Guzman, and Memo haven't had any time. Any time. It's not easy. And I'll tell you from the other end, when I was on the other end, it's not easy, but it is a national team. He's representing his country. He is willing, very willing. He may be a little bit sad sometimes for not being able to be part of this, but he is very much a part of the group, and he deserves all my support and all of my respect. And he is one of the closest ones that is participating. That is, no, he has to be very close to those who are participating. Hello, Jaime.
Te lo voy a preguntar así, como
Orlando Diaz, Fox Sports. How has it been in these in this very short time in the way that you win or not the title? When you talk about projects, I think you earned the right to be seen, to being here. This interim bit, it may be gone. The team has done what nobody has done in the last 2.5 years, and it is that they pleased the fans and they won. You were very good. What do you think? How they're going to see you? Those people who called you interim. What do you think? Those are the ones that I am most happy for, because if I do the rewind for 3 weeks, I was unemployed, happy with my family because I am very happy working, but being with my family makes me happy. And there was a person in that group that trusted me, trusted my process. And it's what it said. You don't have to, not everybody has to believe in you, but when the person makes the decisions, believes in you, I am grateful. I understand, and when the opportunities show up, I should take care advantage of them. See if tomorrow he decides that he makes a decision, he will have reasons to do it. But I'm clear, like when I was. When the Olympic Games, when the last game, I said it was last game because I had been told today I came for a gold cup, and that's how I have it in my head and how I've let you know, and it's step by step, and we're doing 5 of 6, and it's very important. We will do as best we can till the moment, as we've done till this moment, to return the cup home, and I've enjoyed it a lot. I am very grateful for the opportunity, for this team, for these players, but if that person had not trusted me, I would have been just one more fan at home supporting my team. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry, I cannot hear the question. We will see. That is your point of view, and I appreciate it and I value it. But if it was for me, I would go along. But of course, but unfortunately or fortunately, the person who makes those decisions is somebody else. And I don't know if he's seen what he wanted from me. Perhaps he was looking for something else with more time. He's the only one who knows. But what I know is that he is very clear with me that he was coming for the Gold Cup, and that's it. Helen Omar Real de Buenasteca. Good evening. Yeah. Mexico doesn't like to. They want to have to play against the United States. The national team is very for the defeat against the United States. And is it the same as important to win against Panama to bring it home, or are you waiting, or you wish the United States was? The final that we dreamed was United States Mexico, but look, that doesn't matter. I didn't even know. Somebody interviewed me and said that we're going to. I didn't even know who we were going to play against because we started the last games and I couldn't see who was up. So I'm telling you that that's the least important for me in this moment. The objective continues being the same. And if Panama is in the final, it's because they played a little bit better than the United States. And so it's very well deserved. And they also ended up on Nations League with this desire, and they have to prepare to rest, recover, and see if we can win the last game. Hello, Jaime, Keshmi Gomez for ESPN. I want you to talk about your rival against Panama. For Panama, their development, they're very well developed in CONCACAF. They have Alberto Carrasquilla, who could be nominated as the best player in the cup. Carrasquilla of the Houston Dynamo. I saw him the first time in the Pan American Games in Lima. He is very interesting player. He has had a lot of growth here in MLS, and there are a lot of very good players in this. And it's the same thing. What has helped Panama is to trust in a coach and giving him time to work. Evidently, of course, he has made results and he knows what they're playing. I've seen the games. They know exactly how they play. It's a combined game, and it is just a play that they just don't look to attack well. They defend themselves. Panama can confront anybody. They have the quality of players, they have the time together, and they have the idea to be able to develop, and that is why they are in the final. Like I just said, it is a selection. Jamaica was the one that came the best up, but Panama has been doing things very well for a long time. And we've seen them for 2 or 3 last World Cups that they've been there. I like how they play. I like what their coach does. And without a doubt, it's going to be a very good game. Hello. Hola, Jaime. Lebran Araya from 2DN. Since you have several days to plan the final against Panama, I want to think that today we saw Exxon Alvarez a few minutes in the second half. He's 100%. You wouldn't risk him. What are you going to do for the final? Because Romo, Eric Sanchez, who started, who was a good starter in exchange. How do you analyze the your half field that anybody could be a starter? I don't know. Edson wasn't going to be. He was going to be in the bench and he wasn't going to get minutes in before coming in here. He says, I'm fine. I can play. And so that's why he came in, because at the end, he is very young. His international presence and his leadership is very important for the team. And I think he came in and we managed the ball a little bit better. And so if confronting Eric Edson it counts and they have to think about it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to analyze what we've done, what we have to improve. We'll see what Panama does, and then decide what the best course of action and what. Today, Charlie came in as an exchange very well. Alvarado came in very well. Santi helped a lot. And Lightis, who had very little time, but he came in very well. But I saw Ordelillo also very well. What can I tell you? The majority went through a very good period, and I think that is a lot because they bought it, they needed it, and think that victories help with the self-confidence of the team. Hello, Jaimes, ESPN, Juan Jaimes. You mentioned process independently of who is going to stay in front of the Mexican selection. The game of today is the model for a play from which to go through this new process. And today has been the best game from the Mexican team in this Gold Cup. I don't know if it's been the best, because in truth, we didn't have the ball as long as we wanted because Jamaica pressured a lot, they risked a lot, but without a doubt, it's been one of the best ones. I think was a very good game, a very round game, very balanced game. Everybody showed a very good level, and the starters and the replacements and the model you have to show and to play in a way. And the Mexican players, I think, has very fast people on the outside. They have people who know how to manage the ball inside. Two centers, and these two centers in this case, and they defend very well. They also that don't burn the ball, even though they're very defensive and positionals. They know how to move the ball. I like this model because it allows the players to all of them. We I like that the team as a whole. If one is better than another, welcome. But what I look for in this model is that everybody shines, everybody participates, and everybody feels as a part and happy with what we're doing on the field. Rafael Ramos from ESPN. Going back to rewind, like you said, I imagine that you were here on June 15th looking for Mexico United States game with the expectation that Mexico would do something different with those players who were dead in that game against the United States and today what the Mexican team is doing. What is the diagnosis? The unemployed coach, but of course, you are a human being and you're a fan. What is the diagnosis that you made? What autopsy did you do for the Mexican team? And at that time, what did you think could be done without knowing that you were going to have the offer to save it? I'm going to talk to you about as a fan. I was very sad, like very many people, because the United States has advanced a lot, a great deal, and part of that is that they have all those players are in good leagues and they are participating and competing, and that's going to be a advantage for the selection for the team that has them. As a coach, I don't know really. It's difficult to make a diagnosis because not even physically did I see them compete. I think I don't like to give a diagnosis when I don't have the tools or all the information that I need. I don't know when they got together, how many trainings they had. And even if I knew, I don't know what they did in those trainings. So it's very difficult. I don't think, unfortunately, I believe in the area of Diego Coca, it was the most important game, and it was the one in which they couldn't play to the expectations. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult because I don't have the tools, I don't have the information to be able to tell you something. But as a fan, I was very sad because I think that the United States has grown, but the play that we did that day was not what Mexican football should be.